let's go ahead. We have a video to react to with the top 15 stories.
Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Rum. Hi, Meg. Hi, JB. Hi, Shane.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Shane, you mind if I smoke?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Someone is saying, like, start this on Rockfin. Yeah, I'm not doing the production for this, so I don't know if KRTD is on Rockfin or not.
No, we're not on Rockfin.
Okay.
We never set that up.
We could have put it on a bunch of different platforms, actually.
We're on a bunch, but we're not on Rockfin yet. Let me pull up the video. So, you want to tell everybody about the poll and the video while I pull it up? Sabby?
Yeah. So, first of all, Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Welcome. I'm here late, but I'm here. We did a poll on Twitter asking people to rank the top 15 news stories of 2021. And so this video is the poll results. You might be surprised at some of the rankings here.
So here's how I thought we could stop after each one and then talk about it. What do you guys think?
It's your show, man.
All right.
I'm just chilling.
All right. Let's go ahead.
Turn out of that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it. With Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got to restock the ice cream.
You don't want to eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We say enjoying.
Having to admit that, yeah, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out.
this specific program is about stopping job losses today.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but
Right now, it's survival mode. You don't know where that next something else is going to come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Is this the part where we get to roast Nancy Pelosi for being an out-of-touch cretin? Because
she's
insufferable. Yeah, she's garbage human being. I mean, they all are. But she's just particularly blatant about it. I mean, bragging about your ice cream that she just said restocked. Notice she said, we just got it restocked, which is code for I don't grocery shop. So my people restocked my fridge for me. My $24,000 fridge. You know, she's garbage.
Let them eat ice cream.
Yeah. And the fact that Donald Trump is so able to use that effectively against them. I mean, and anybody's going to be able to use it against them because it's terrible.
How many people can afford a fridge that costs more than some cars?
I think she has two of them.
She does. Yeah.
Why does she have two? I thought it was just her and her husband.
JB, she hosts a lot of dinner parties. You know that. Come on. There's a lot of dinner parties going on. You know how much she likes to drink? There's some parties going on at the Pelosi place.
I mean, she can get Publix to cater. Whatever.
Well, I don't think she can get Publix, so she doesn't live in Florida.
I know. I'm just saying it just to be saying it because, you know, it sounds funnier when I say Publix instead of grocery store. But yeah, I mean,
Kroger.
Kroger. But she's so out of touch. The fact that she doesn't even realize that there are refrigerators that are cheaper than $24,000.
Oh, she realizes.
Also do the job.
No, she realizes. I mean, this it's a status thing. Yeah. It's 100% a status thing.
I'm pretty sure those are old refrigerators by now. I'm pretty sure she upgraded probably her kitchen and everything. Probably built a new island and all. So.
Yeah. And she has
Also, why do
servants that get her the things from the fridge. You know,
Who needs that much ice cream? Just weird. It's
It
just
is weird.
weird.
It is weird.
She is older, so I'll give her that. Older people do like ice cream, but she's still a psychopath.
Yes.
You know, she's like at a certain point, like, man, you got to look at these people like they have been in office so long, they know what's going on, and I don't know if I was in power, would I be able to smile again, knowing what's going on, you know, and having this data at, you know what I'm saying, at my fingertips anytime that I want. If I can actually see how many people are starving or homeless in my district itself, let alone around the world, because she is one of the most powerful women in the world. As of right now.
You know, as much as she likes chocolate, you'd think she'd want to treat black people better.
Oh no!
Oh, JB went there.
How's she gonna get her chocolate? Look, no, they don't want to do that, because then you treat the black people better. Then they're gonna start building their own little factories and whatnot. Then we're gonna charge the, you know what I'm saying, up prices for you know what I'm saying, for our cocoa beans or whatever the hell it is that they need. You know, so yeah, keep them down, keep them slaves. That way they work for low wage.
Amen.
Yep. That's 100%.
Can't say it better than that.
We ready for the next?
Indeed.
Yeah, to hell, Pelosi.
You forced me to watch Nancy Pelosi like 3 times today now, Shane, and I don't appreciate it. I'm just saying. I'm just going to say it up front.
Prepare extra videos, so I just was going with the ones in the library.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Loving
like
her
maybe 4 times. I don't remember. It might be 4 times, but I am offended by this.
Okay.
I don't know how to spin it in any other way than to say Nina Turner, former congressional candidate, is now joining the Young Turks. She said she had an announcement to make in September. My first thought was she was just getting back on the saddle, but I suppose her special announcement was she'll be guest hosting on the Young Turks.
She has put the debate to bed because she has decided to join the Young Turks. She took a job at the Young Turks. She's actually making a conscious decision to say, yes, I want to go work at the Young Turks.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Do you guys remember how much shit I took for calling her out?
Yep.
Remember that? That was fun, right? Turns out I was right all along.
Well, she signed that contract a couple of years ago, which I think she could have broken, but then she got into bed deeper with them. Isn't she doing a podcast for them now behind a paywall?
Yes. I don't know if she's still doing it. I mean, I don't pay attention to it, but the little I don't know, logo that they put out was super cringy. Just
I didn't think I saw the logo.
Oh my god, it's like her as like a superwoman. And then I forget, I don't know if somebody can pull it up, that'd be great. But yeah, it's pretty cringy. And you know, she also, let's not forget that she started a consulting firm, which was funded in large part by a John Kasich mega donor, who she then welcomed on her podcast. I mean, I'm sure there was nothing involved there. There was no strings attached there. You know what I mean? Like she's always been shady. She worked for why am I blanking? Center for American Progress. She worked with what's her face?
Neera Tandon, yeah.
Yes. I mean, she was a Clinton surrogate. She was, I mean, come on, y'all.
She wasn't loud. Everyone forget she was a state senator. She wasn't loud until she started being a surrogate for Bernie Sanders and was supposed to be loud for that particular campaign.
I found the picture if you can share it. That's the picture.
Didn't she do another podcast for them a long time ago called Hello Somebody?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if that was that for TYT?
No, that was just
I thought that was just her.
Yeah, she did have one for TYT a couple years ago, though. I do remember seeing that on their website.
I don't remember that.
Back in the day.
Unless she had an affiliation deal with Hello Somebody, like Kyle had for a little while.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I didn't know.
I don't think so, though. I thought it was like kind of independent.
I didn't know that she signed a
There was
contract
one,
with him years ago, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It was 2 years, I think, before her run, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that deal has been coming for a while.
You find out about people, and it's really interesting when the true colors come out. It's like put on airs long enough, and then somebody starts to show. You know.
Oh, okay, I found it. The one that she did 2 years ago with TYT was called "We the People" with Nina Turner.
That was it.
We should.
Yeah.
This should tell people a lot about TYT and how these progressive politicians really scapegoat you guys into this to this Democratic Party and whatnot, and they found the safe haven with TYT to actually do that. If a politician like Nina Turner, she is a politician, no matter how far left she is, if she found a space in there to push propaganda for whatever she's doing, then this should raise awareness to all you guys, because one thing Revolutionary Blackout will never do is hire ex-politicians or politicians or anybody in that degree, because we know what's going on, and we don't do that.
No. Electoral politics ain't it, fam.
No.
That ain't it.
Let's go to the next one.
Jake answering a question from a viewer about Kyle Kulinski. He's no longer with TYT. Let's expand that video and play it in its full entirety.
Matthew H. Asks, been watching you since 2014. Just wondering when you'll have people like Kyle or Vosh on the Friday Power Panel. Kyle is no longer part of the network. And so he says that he disagrees with us on some policy issues. It is what it is. Good luck to him. And let's see if he can placate the people he's trying to placate. My guess is it'll end in disaster. It has already started in disaster, and probably will head in that direction.
I'm proud of him. I think
Yeah.
I'm glad he did this.
There's
disappointment on his face.
2 words. But hurt.
Oh no. And that's how he sends him off? What is that? That just shows Cenk Uygur's character. These people are frauds. That's why, we're always roasting them. That's why Kyle Kulinski is now leaving them. And I'm so glad to see it.
Yeah.
I was glad to see Kyle leave, but he's still Kyle. He's still Milquetoast Central.
But he didn't leave. He didn't leave on his own. He was pushed out.
He was pushed out because what did he say? I remember he said Jimmy Dore was right on the issues and TYT was wrong about almost everything.
Yeah, I love that
And
Jake tried to
didn't like
play
it.
it out like Kyle was going to end in disaster, because that's where TYT is in disaster. Like their network is dying very rapidly. So the fact that he's like, oh, it's going to end in disaster for Kyle. I mean, Cenk, the dude, like all of his tweets, every one of them, I feel like you can just reply, find a mirror, homie. Like just find a mirror. This is about you. Like you're tweeting about
Kyle's
yourself.
going to outlast Cenk at this point. I guarantee it.
Their
Probably.
like TYT's like subscriber count and their views don't add up.
No,
No.
of course not. It's not real. It's not
No.
real. That's not
You know,
real.
you can buy
Yeah.
subscribers. Bots, I think, on Amazon.
Well,
or
and they're
eBay, like,
protected by the algorithm. They're in kind of that mainstream algorithm, the corporate media algorithm. So that saves them from losing subscribers and from having subscribers purged. And it, you know what I mean? It boosts them up in the views.
Well,
You
because
know,
they sold out. If they didn't sell out, they wouldn't be given this preferential
course not.
treatment.
I
Did
blocked them
anybody
multiple
see?
times. They still pop up on my damn YouTube every fucking day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, as far as their subscriber count, I think a lot of those subscribers are just people who were followers of TYT, but just probably don't even watch anymore. As I know, I still have TYT on my YouTube. I'm still subscribed only because I still want to see what the hell they're saying. That way, I can see what's going on. I follow a lot of people that I don't really watch because I want to see.
well, they have
what's their
5 million
headline.
subscribers and they'll get like 200 viewers on a live stream.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, that's clearly inflated. I mean, it's all inflated. It's a lot of dormant subscribers and a lot of fake, a lot of bots.
And their main show actually is outperformed by some of their other shows, by some of their other hosts, believe it or not.
That's not surprising to me at all.
some people just like that one guy who does a show there. They're like, I'm gonna watch him. I don't care about the main show. I don't want to see these people. I just want to see this one person.
Yeah.
When I used to watch, I only watched for aggressive progressives. I didn't
Well,
watch the main
Ben-
show. I couldn't stand them.
Well, Ben
I
Dixon's a part of TYT, but on his channel, he has like over 100,000 subs, but he gets the same number of views I get. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
something doesn't add up.
And you gotta remember, like, they was popping around the time of the vote blue. No matter who they get on these trends, so it's easy to get followers through certain hashtags, especially on Twitter or whatever.
Clickbait
it is.
shit.
Yeah,
Culture war, drama,
yeah,
all that stuff.
But that shit never lasts. You know what I'm saying? That shit never lasts because you're not actually fighting for anything. Because these people looking for that type of news that you are reporting, they're gonna be on to the next thing or the next hot thing. You see how fast they get on the Jimmy Dore thing, and everybody had to get on the Jimmy Dore thing, and everybody had to get on this and that just to keep their you know what I'm saying? Just to keep their brand moving, just somewhat, because everything is stagnant right now. We are the only ones that's actually growing on the left. You know what I'm saying? Our organizations are actually growing on the left without electoral election going on right now. And
All they had to do to keep their heads above water, they had to do one simple thing: not say anything about force the vote, either support it or shut up about it, because the second that Anna Kasparian opened her mouth, she ignited the war with Jimmy Dore. If they would have shut up about it, they could have kept their viewers, they could have kept their somewhat progressive status, and they could have been quiet about it.
I don't think they would have kept their viewers. It would have gotten pushed. I mean, Jimmy Dore was pushing it openly.
Yeah. Well, no,
lots
I
of
know
people
that.
were. Brian Joy was,
they did their job and went against us.
Yeah.
No, that's true. But I think they would have been a much better place if Anna Kasparian just kept her mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the only thing that they have, I ever see them talking about is shit going on The View. It's like, I don't give a shit what Meghan McCain says. I don't care.
It's
I don't
TMZ.
care
It's
at all.
political TMZ. There's a
It
couple
is.
of those channels
You know
out
what
there that
Anna
only
Kasparian's-
deal in like Twitter drama and gossip and all of that stuff. They never cover anything real. There's a couple of those channels out there. It's
You ever see
unfortunate.
the progressive voice, I think he calls himself? He went on with Anna Kasparian. She's like, you're my guilty pleasure. You're like the TMZ of the left.
Yeah, there's a couple of those channels.
There's you can put it like this: TYT support is like being a sandbox. It's like being in a sandbox filled with mud. It's like, yeah, they have a
Talk about Misty Hair,
amount
nigga.
they have a wide amount of support, but it's very soft. Whereas we're standing on a concrete block. It may not be as wide, but it's solid. And the thing is that's because of what we covered. And so I honestly think I'd rather stand on that concrete block than be in that, box full of mud. So
So let's go to the next one.
It's U.S. Senator Kyrsten Sinema, confronted in a way that she probably never expected, on her way to the ladies' room.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected. This is my life and the life of millions.
A tense airport greeting as Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema returned to Washington, flanked by police as progressive activists followed, demanding the Democratic moderates support the president's sweeping spending bill for climate and social programs.
Look, as a wine-drinking bisexual triathlete, I know what the average American wants. They want to be put on hold when they call 911. They want bridges that just stop, a car falls down. They want water so thick you can eat it with a fork. And I will fight for that no matter what. Unless my foot hurts, then I'll go back to Arizona.
She's a Green Party activist, by the way. Everybody.
No, she's come on. I mean, she is, but
well, she was a Green Party activist.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets that.
Yes.
She
They're all
was
playing
for
roles.
she was for $15 minimum wage too.
Mhm.
She was pushing for that.
Was.
And then when she got her power, she thumbs down y'all motherfuckers.
And that's
like
how it
she
always
Shane
goes
or something.
down. That's how it always goes down. I don't care who you are. People get mad at me for saying this. Listen, I love some people who are running for office. If they win, which is very highly unlikely because our elections are completely rigged, but if you are to win, you will either assimilate yourself, you will either comply and conform, or you will be pushed out. That's it. That's how it works. That's it. So everybody does. If anybody serves more than one term, you can be pretty well assured that they have conformed to
Well,
what they're
they'll
supposed
push
to be
you
doing.
out. If you are a true, either you'll get lucky, like Mike Gravel, he was able to stay in there long enough to do some
That's probably
shit.
the last time you'll see that.
Right. Or, well, actually, you go to the 90s and you see Cynthia McKinney, but she got pushed out.
Yeah, they pushed her out big time.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What if, was Dennis Kucinich pretty good, or was he
He
kind of
was-
like in the middle?
Okay, he was okay. I mean, he was a Democrat, but he was okay. You know what I mean? He had some good policy positions. He was, he was great on a lot of things. He did not have the spine to stand up to the power structures. And as soon as he spoke out about the fact that Barack Obama was letting a public option slide, Barack Obama showed up in his district to basically campaign against him and fuck him over. So yeah, but he was okay, but he was never going to like fight against power in any real substantive way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw a really funny comment that said that Biden is going to Iowa for a show with Jeff Dunham. And honestly, I was like, is he going to be the puppet? Is he going as a puppet?
They
Because
look
that would
just
make
alike.
sense to me.
They look just alike.
But
Yeah.
like, honestly, as far as Kirsten Cinema goes, all I have to say is I just wanted to see more people doing this. I want to see more people protesting at weddings that Kirsten Cinema's at, or if
Every
Manchin
politician
is there. I want to see that so much more. It's like, this is not disrespect to follow her to the bathroom in order to, like, it's not like they were harming her or anything. They were just telling her, hey, you need to be supporting this. I want to see that more, because that's
should be
what they should
heckling
be doing as civil
everywhere they
servants.
go. Everywhere they go.
Especially if you canvass for them.
Yeah,
you definitely should be out there.
But even if you don't, because I don't canvass for anybody, but I will absolutely, if I see a politician, I will absolutely be heckling them. And everybody should. Everybody should. They're all terrible. They all need to be called out on a regular basis. I mean, that's part of it, dude. It's your job.
You see the disrespect. The woman said, I knocked on doors for you, and she just said nothing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, so disrespectful. How dare you?
Let's go to the next.
Hello, Virginians. My name is Princess Blandon, and today I am grateful to announce my candidacy for Governor of Virginia as the nominee of the newly formed Liberation Party.
I saw a video of Princess on Twitter. I think it may have gone viral. It was one of the first things I saw that day. And she is speaking about what happened with the governor debate in Virginia.
On the ballot. And what did you just do there? I just made it very clear that I am a candidate to let Virginians know that their censorship of my candidacy is racist. It is very sexist. It is very oppressive. And it's a form of voter suppression. The goal is to make sure that Virginians don't know that I exist, so that they feel that they have to choose between the lesser of two evils. How are you being censored? They will not allow me to participate in the debates. I made it on the ballot. They have an already made base. I had to work 10 times harder to get on that ballot just to be told that I'm not allowed to debate. I have to come and sit in the audience. I mean, that is a bunch of bullshit. That's exactly what it is.
Do you think
And then no police come when this man is literally physically pushing against me. He's taking his big body and he's pushing up against me. Not one police officer comes. We're not going to sit here and talk about it. I was told that this is for the business class. Well, guess what? Those are two millionaires. I made less than $1,500 during the last report.
She argues her campaign speaks to voters who feel left out by the two major parties.
And they feel that nobody's listening and nobody cares. And so it is definitely a breath of fresh air when they see that there is a candidate that is fighting for all of us, for all working class, for all marginalized community members, for all of the oppressed people. 'Cause 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 'cause
I remember sharing a post on Twitter talking about how I ran for office, and they basically was like, no. Like, but it be like that, and some people make it through those. It's hard. It take a lot of money, tens of thousands to get even up there. So when I saw that was heartbreaking. But I was happy as hell when Sabby actually got her on the show. I watched that whole thing live, and that shit was just so surreal because it's just some people got so much hope, so much potential and fight. We get out here and we in the wrong ring. You know what I'm saying? Even if we want to be in that ring right now, we just ain't got the right corner for it. Ain't got the right training for it. So it was heartbreaking to see something like that, but it was the hard truth that we needed to see. That's how I feel, because even if you go locally, no matter how it is, they will do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't have the right training room. It's more that it's rigged against us. There is, we know, we have the training. We know how to operate within the system. It's just rigged against anybody who actually gives a shit and wants to do something for the people. And it's always going to be that way. Somebody like Princess is going to be pushed out, but she's never going to be allowed to get elected. And if she does happen to slide through, like I said earlier, she will be forced to assimilate or she will be pushed out. They will get her out within the next election. Either she will play ball with them or they will make sure that she's out of office very, very soon. And they have the ability to do that. Seriously, our electoral system is rigged from top to bottom. I mean, even locally, it's very difficult to find somewhere that's not completely corrupted. And so it can't be reformed. We don't have the ability to get inside of it to reform it. We do not. And I know that a lot of people still think that we can transform the Democratic Party. That's never happening. That is never happening. And the faster y'all let go of that, the faster we can move on.
Yeah, what was interesting about her too is that she met all the requirements and she showed up that day to debate, and they were like, yeah, you can't debate, but you can talk to the press after. And I'm like, what the hell? Like,
look what they did to Tulsi. And I know people are going to be like, oh, but Tulsi. Okay, and that's fine. But you can't deny that what happened to her in the primary and Mike Gravel too was totally fucked up.
What was their excuse for Gravel? We only have 20 podiums on 2 nights with
there's
10
always
people.
an excuse, and they can literally, because the Democratic Party is a private corporation, can do whatever they want. That's been said in court. That's been said in court.
They said we can rig our elections.
Yeah, we can rig our elections. They don't owe you anything, so they can do whatever they want, and so they can just change the rules. They can just be like, "Oh, Tulsi made it through the things to get onto the debate stage. Okay, we're going to add this thing on that she has to now accomplish in 3 days or whatever it is," and they can do that, and we have no power whatsoever to change that or.
Well, they're afraid because the last time a third-party candidate made it onto the debate stage was in 1990. Something
Ross
with
Perot.
Jesse Ventura.
Ross Perot.
Ross Perot, but I was going to say Jesse Ventura locally, and he won the governorship.
Yep.
And Ross Perot almost won the presidency, and those were within a year or two of each other. That scared the hell out of them.
He took 20% of the vote. Ross Perot did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was
I
after
honestly
being
think,
slaughtered in the media.
Yeah, I honestly think that if they had let Jesse Ventura run as the Green Party candidate, I think he would have slaughtered a lot of that. I think he would have taken a lot of that.
He polled at 15% without being a candidate. Yeah, how he's a nice
taken
guy.
So much of that vote.
No, Howie was a terrible candidate, and
I
they
said
need
he was a nice
to
guy. I didn't say he was a good
I
candidate.
mean, I don't know. I've never met him, but
I
I know he Russiagate. He smeared Assange. He dead named Chelsea Manning. Like, I have a lot of issues with Howie Hawkins. Not to mention the fact that they were not trying to win. Did you see the informational? It was like pixelated. It looked like my kid made it. I'm like, you guys aren't serious. This isn't a serious campaign. This is a joke. It was sad.
I believe I also heard a lot of like turf shit coming out of the Green Party with Howie Hawkins leading it.
Well, he dead named Chelsea Manning on Primo's show. Like, straight up dead named her.
Yeah. I was hearing a lot
and
of
like
turf
smirked about it too. And I'm like, you know how I get about my whistleblowers? I was like, what is he talking about?
No.
And then tried to like poo-poo it off that he was tired and hungry. Well, eat a fucking Snickers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to dead name people.
There were definitely bigger people, more popular people they could have went with.
Yes.
Well, they could have. And look, I met the guy a couple of times. He's a nice guy, bad candidate. and nice does not win elections.
I liked Ian Schlachman. I would have worked for Ian Schlachman, even though I don't believe in electoral politics, just because he's my homie.
By the way,
know?
I haven't seen this video, so I didn't know I was in it, so it's kind of funny. But I haven't seen this, so
I
this
haven't
is no
seen it
time
either.
for me.
None of us
This
have
was-
seen it.
Yeah.
This was made by Jimmy Sunderland, the executive deputy director at
Jimmy.
KRTD.
She's
She
great.
she was up until 4 a.m. Eastern. She's on Pacific time, but she was up till 4 a.m. Eastern last night working on this video, all at the last minute. She put a lot of work into it. So,
Yeah, but cheers to Princess Blanding.
Mhm.
Cheers to her.
Yeah, I just want to say I don't. They're gonna try to do to whoever who's third party the same thing they did to Sean Want. They're gonna try to do that like multiple times as much as they possibly can because they just don't want to see anybody actually on the left have any power because then that means that it will be attractive to actual people, to working people, and then it will have that power slip through their fingers.
Right? Even consider what happened, I believe it was in South Dakota, where the people actually voted to get rid of corruption in their state, and then their House and Senate voted to basically overthrow that law. They got rid of the corruption in their state. There is no winning. There is no winning in any of this shit. Or even here in Florida, we voted in order for felons to get back their voting rights, but then they found a little trick involving money that they owed in order to keep them from voting. There is no winning because they can just do whatever the hell they want,
And they can just change the rules whenever
Exactly.
they want.
Yeah. Oh.
Chris Cuomo was one of CNN's most popular anchors.
I love you very much. Thank you for coming on the show.
But after multiple women accused then Governor Andrew Cuomo of sexual misconduct, Chris Cuomo
Why
did
does
not
nigga look like
acknowledge
the
the
Green
scandal on
Goblin?
his show and was later found to have advised his brother's team on its response.
My phone was lighting up on Tuesday with calls from CNN staffers, some of whom said Cuomo should have been
This
fired right away.
motherfucker with the
They nominally indefinitely suspended him for information that he was basically doing oppo research on his brother's accusers, using his connections to get more information, to get ahead of the story. He was helping his brother craft the responses. So he was very, very directly involved with playing defense for his brother when his brother's a politician and he is supposed to be a journalist or a reporter. So he's not doing his job.
It was all completely inappropriate. And you know what? That CNN allowed it to go on just shows how complicit and unprofessional CNN is.
We should point out, too, that they used Biden's playbook in dealing with Tara Reid in order to deal with the stuff against Andrew Cuomo as well. And, that's been glossed over quite a bit, and it's gross. He's not a journalist. Come on. Did anybody think he was a journalist before this?
No.
Really? No.
He's
Dude's
royalty.
a teleprompter reader. That's all he does. He's not a journalist.
He had the same
political
expression every
royalty.
time.
He does. That's the Botox, I
Green
think.
Goblin, and the other dude look like Penguin. That's all
Yeah.
I think about when I see those two guys. I'll be laughing because man, and he need to cut his hair and stuff.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that dude. Come on, he's not a journalist. They've always
pretty
known
sure
that
the Green
they're
Goblin
corrupt.
killed less people, though.
Nobody that works at CNN is a journalist. Nobody that works at MSNBC is a journalist. Nobody that works at Fox is a journalist. There are elements of journalism that I think most of the time accidentally happen on those networks. But that is propaganda. It is state propaganda essentially, because corporations own our government, corporations own our media. It's a clusterfuck of corruption, and we're all being screwed by it.
Right.
Remember,
I mean,
they said they're infotainment. That's what
Yeah.
they said. They're infotainment.
Yeah, like Tucker Carlson, Rachel Maddow, they were in court, and they actually said they cannot be taken seriously because they are not actually news.
And don't forget, Tucker Carlson and Rachel Maddow used to be buddies. Rachel Maddow calls Roger Ailes her mentor. It is a big club, and they're all owned and operated by the exact same people. It's the exact same people that own our politicians. It is corporate. It is complete corporate capture. And what you are getting fed by, and this is why see, I'm going to get hyped up here, but this is why I talk about narrative control so much, because that is the fucking front line. When they control the narrative, when they control the story, you cannot effectively combat against that unless you are able to also disseminate information and try to combat that. And they're trying desperately to take our away ability to do that too.
Right.
And that's
and
not
let's
good.
not even forget that both Chris Cuomo and Anderson Cooper both come from power. Anderson Cuomo is a Vanderbilt. He's a Vanderbilt.
Anderson Cooper, yeah.
Anderson Cooper is a Vanderbilt.
And he's a
Chris
he's
Cuomo
a
is a
CIA
Cuomo.
turd. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Chris Cuomo is the son of Mario Cuomo, the former governor of New York.
Yep.
Yes, this is like a
Talk about nepotism. And can we also please mention that Mimi Rocha, who went on to MSNBC and said that Bernie Sanders made her skin crawl, refused in Westchester to go after Andrew Cuomo.
Well, of course, that doesn't fit her team's narrative. It's the same way as Alyssa Milano crying about "we believe survivors," and then when Tara Reid comes along, she's like, "Go Joe Biden." Fuck you. You don't actually care about women. I mean, it's the team mentality. It's this tribalism where if my team does it, it's fine, and if anybody else does it, it's the worst thing that's ever happened on planet Earth. And it's infantile, really. The Cuomo's have had a rough year.
They started out on a high, though.
Yeah.
They started out the year on a
This
high.
morning, Andrew Cuomo, New York's politically pugnacious governor, calling it quits after an investigation by the state attorney general documented multiple sexual harassment allegations made by 11 women.
This is not to say that there are not 11 women who I truly offended. There are. And for that, I deeply, deeply apologize. There are generational and cultural shifts that I just didn't fully appreciate. And I should have. No excuses. And I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do.
Back in my days.
Every single time I hear anybody say anything even remotely close to generational shifts, I want to rip my hair out. This is not a generational shift. This was never okay. It was never okay. It was just allowable. We're speaking out more is what's different now. It was never okay.
Just keep your hands to your damn self. How hard is that, y'all? I mean, really,
Seriously.
men, my friends, y'all, it's not that hard. Just keep your hands to your damn self. Seriously. You're a grown-ass person.
He also said it was because he's Italian.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
man.
But wait, he's also Mexican and gay, and he's a woman. And remember that speech he gave where he's everybody? What a turd.
Man, that's as bad as
Seriously?
Melissa. That's as bad as Melissa Milano too. But she did tweet that she was a black woman and that she was all this shit. Like she was a trans woman. And like, oh my god.
No, you're not. Shut up.
what?
You're a white privileged.
I'm every woman.
She totally like co-opted
Wait a
me
minute.
too.
Yes, she did.
co-opted
Yes,
me
she
too.
did.
She did.
Can they hear us?
Yes, she did.
I have no idea.
She said that she was what?
Yeah, she
said
tweeted
she
that.
She co-opted me too. Yeah. Yeah. JB.
So
I live for
The
this.
frozen.
let's go to the next one.
That was excellent.
Everybody.
Hi, Steve. Hi, Lucky.
Hi,
Hi,
guys.
Leo.
But may I say one thing? Can I say one thing? More thing, Shane, is that
No.
I am
Yes.
I'm so happy that Andrew Cuomo is out, but I'm kind of angry about the fact that this is the thing that got him taken out of office when he
Murdered a bunch of elderly people.
He murdered a bunch of elderly people and tried to cover it up.
Did cover it up. It's covered up.
He tried to,
Nobody's talking
he
about
covered
that.
it up.
Yeah.
He murdered a bunch of elderly people
Hey,
and covered
guys.
it up.
Yes.
Pasta said he was backstage.
Shane, is Pasta backstage?
He said he was backstage for 20 minutes.
Oh, I don't have. Not my fault. I have no
He's
access
not.
to that.
He's
stuff.
not here.
Like me.
No,
He was back-
he's gone. He was backstage for 20 minutes, he said.
He never registered because I would have seen him back here. I get a ding every time somebody comes in. There was no
You
ding.
do? How do you set that up? Because I miss people all the time.
It dings. Yours doesn't do that. I think
Mine
it's
doesn't
in
ding.
settings. So
if it's down too low, like if I have a lot of people on my stream and it's down too low, I don't always see people who come up on like the second row.
You can tell Pasta can come back. And I'll let him in.
Come back, Pasta. I love me some pasta.
Relax.
Okay. I'm gonna play the next one while we wait for Pasta.
Oh my
if
God.
he's gonna come back.
If you see Pasta backstage, then let him.
I will.
Y'all gonna have to excuse me for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Sure.
There are those who consider Dave Chappelle to be a comic genius, but many say his latest special is once again making some critics wonder if it's more offensive than funny.
New fallout from Dave Chappelle's latest special on Netflix. Many saying the jokes he's made in his new special cross the line and are transphobic and dangerous. The show even prompting a walkout amongst employees and demonstrators at Netflix.
He is not doing his best work. I think there's a genius way to talk about what he's talking about, and he's not doing that. As we all know, jokes and opinions can be offensive. We have seen an uptick in the deaths of Black trans women. These things that we think is, oh, it's just a culture, or it's just jokes. They actually lead to people actually harming and disrespecting us in public in our real lives.
Okay.
Misty, can you message him really quick if you
Pasta? Yeah.
Okay.
On it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Dave Chappelle had a tough year, huh?
Yeah. He stepped in it.
Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of Dave Chappelle, so I don't really have much of an opinion on this.
So my opinion is that I'm sorry, but I saw like old Dave Chappelle, the Chappelle Show, and some of the things that were on the Chappelle Show, I'm really surprised people did not get up in arms about. Like looking back on it, like I don't think he would be able to do that today. If that makes
things
sense.
are the barometer for stuff like that is way different now than it was.
Yeah.
Like Dave's shit was funny as fuck back in the day. It's still funny. Shit.
I mean, there's been a ton of really borderline offensive comedians. It's just, I mean, to me, I'm not like one to get this, but again, I am white, cisgendered woman, privileged as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I personally have never gotten offended by stuff like comedy. Some of it's not for me necessarily. Like some of it I don't find funny, or some of it would be like, man, that's kind of out of line, but it's not something that I get like super riled up about. But again, very privileged bitch over here. So, you know, I don't really have, I mean, I
That
can't
used
really
to be a
speak on
thing
that
to
shit.
aspire to as a comedian, was to be fucking edgy.
Yeah.
You know? That used to be a thing.
And really, Dave Chappelle's not having a bad year. He had a fucking Netflix special. He's doing just fine. Dave
He
Chappelle's
put
doing
asses
just
in
fine.
the seats, man, during a pandemic. He did just fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
$1 billion worth of just fine.
Yeah, this is why I don't really buy cancel culture. Just
No,
because-
I hate cancel culture.
Yeah.
It drives me
Yeah.
fucking crazy. People want to like cancel. Here's the thing: people are flawed, and everybody, especially artists. Artists are generally fucked up people. Let's just be real about it. They're usually the most depressed amongst us. The most, you know what I mean? Like that's where art comes from. Art comes from a lot. I mean, a lot of it comes from pain. And so these are people who are, you know, maybe not. And that's okay. Like, I mean, I can know that somebody is a piece of shit personally and still enjoy the art that they make.
Here's an interesting one. Now, don't attack me on the electoral Senate analogy, but there was the $1,200 check attempt by Sanders and Holly. And a bunch of people were saying, I don't like Holly. I don't want the check. because Holly is associated
That's
with the
so
show.
dumb.
They're like, what do you mean? And they're like,
Grow up. These people don't want to get anything. If anybody says that, they're not serious about. They're not serious. As Nick would say, they are deeply unserious people because those people clearly don't want to actually get anything done. Because I don't care if somebody wants to I'll use Tucker Carlson as an example because we've already spoken about him. But if he wants to have somebody on his show to talk about Julian Assange, I will exploit the fuck out of that platform. I don't care. And if you actually want to fight for something, if you actually care about something, then I don't care who you are. It's not about my ego. It's not about me, like having to be best friends. You don't have to go to dinner with them. All you got to do is fight for the same cause. I don't see why that's a problem.
Exactly. Plus, you're getting $1,200 out of it.
But again, these people not serious.
It's our taxpayer money, no matter where, who is fighting for it.
Yeah,
it's still our taxpayer dollars.
Well, it's not taxpayer dollars. If you just, I don't want to get into this now, but it's not taxpayer dollars. It's new money.
All about perspective.
But here's the question.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what's the logic behind this? That's like being in a car accident, and then because of the person that you don't like is trying to save your life, you're going to deny them to help save your life. What the fuck?
I asked the same thing about strikes.
Yeah,
people will be like, "Yeah, I support strikers." Really, what about the Trump voters? Because there's a lot of Trump voters who are striking. You support them too? No,
Yeah, it's like, if I'm in a car accident, if I got somebody a Nazi tattoo that I on, and they're trying to save me out of the car accident, and I'm gonna say, no. Hold on, wait a minute. Understand that some shit fuck up views, but at the same time, if I'm suffering, I'm about to die, and they're about to grab my hand and pull me out from the wreckage before the car blows up, it's like, and that's a very outlandish example, but you know what I mean.
That's why I don't listen to these people, because you can tell they never really canvas or talk to anybody outside of their community about politics. Anybody who look different or sound different, think different, and walk a different life. They have the echo chambers with their Facebook groups, their Twitter followers, and then they think that should apply to the real world. They think what they think really flies, but when you get out here, it's nothing like that. Because once you get out here, you're gonna learn that most of the people around you are conservative. Even if they call themselves progressive, you still have to break down lots of walls. It's not like how you guys think at all once you actually are in the street. So I waste no time with these people when they tell me how people actually are, how they think. You have no idea. You have no idea.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of hegemony out there.
If you were hoping that we'd have one of the most important fighters elected to Congress, because Nina Turner lost.
I have my opinion about why Nina Turner lost, and for those who are watching, I do just want to say, I am not happy that Nina lost.
No.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of that. Nobody was celebrating, assholes.
Chantel Brown, someone with little to no name recognition, made up a 35-point deficit and ended up pretty handily defeating someone who's a political behemoth like Nina Turner with national name recognition. Ask yourself, how on earth did this happen? Pretty simple. Money.
So I do want to make that clear.
I
We're
thought it was
not
my
happy
fault
that Nina lost. No, it was our fault, Misty. Remember?
I was mean to her
Totally
about
your fault,
Medicare
Misty.
for all, and so it was my fault. I caused Nina Turner to lose because I have Susan Sarandon level power. I'm her Padawan. I am so powerful. You guys, I am some dumb bitch in Ohio. I have no power. I have no influence. I have a moderate Twitter following, and y'all are like, yeah, you caused me. Shut the fuck up.
All these motherfuckers was mad as hell. They was so mad because they lost jobs and they lost something to talk about and be like, yeah, see, we told you just vote harder and we can get more people like Nina Turner. Like, no, it didn't work.
First of all, Nina Turner was nothing exciting.
But
She's
I
a Democrat.
Nina. I text Nina that morning. I text Nina, and I told her, you lose some, you win some, you lose some. And she was like, yeah. Like, well, it is what it is. But she wasn't even taking it. Bottom line, she wasn't even taking it as hard as these other jack-offs was. I swear.
No.
Well, you know, she got her new job at TYT, so she's good.
Oh, of course she's fine. She's always going to be fine. She's solidified herself within the structure. She can run. She can have consulting firms and podcasts, and all she said.
It's fine.
She's
I
good.
want to
Misty,
hear
you got a fan.
Huh? I do?
Yeah.
Another one of my trolls? Where?
No.
Who?
No,
An
this is a
actual
fan.
Oh, hail
Who?
Misty.
Oh, Chad. Hey, Chad. Yeah, I like Chad. Chad's good. Good dude. I thought it was going to be a troll, honestly, because it's always a troll, you guys. It is always a fucking troll.
Misty, your trolls have found me on my channel, and they
Lucky,
come
I'm
over
so
there
sorry.
too now.
I honestly have the dumbest trolls, so I do apologize because it's bad.
I think they might multiply. They might be multiplying.
It's
is
all right. It's kind of
multiplying. I think
amusing.
It's like the
You know,
alts of alts of the same like 5 people who are like obsessed with me for whatever fucking reason. Get a plant. I'm not that interesting.
Well, Misty, now they find me not, they find me like a fun
I'm
target.
sorry,
So
you're getting my cast off. I wish they were
think it's
smarter.
funny.
If they were clever, at least it would be like entertaining. But they're really dumb.
Well, who we got? There's Mr. Denise, the troll.
Oh my god, Mr. Denise. He was funny for
Is it
a while, but
Melissa? Melissa Green?
Melissa likes
Green.
to say I exclude Asians on purpose, and I'm out to sabotage Ed. I don't
Yep.
I don't even know Ed. I don't know.
Who's Ed? I got the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
At least we
They're-
can be confident about one thing. It's just a silver lining that Nina Turner doesn't have a chance to point us now.
That's true. 'Cause she said she was going to. I mean, at least she was upfront about her mediocrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
if
what
you're
I
gonna
said.
Be mediocre. At least lead with it. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna suck. You know.
Oh,
but
Democrat.
go for
Oh,
me.
sorry.
Yeah.
She would have just gotten all the protection, like all the other, squad members.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but they couldn't have it because they need the numbers to be a certain way, so it can't have it right now.
So the next story.
Again, more of this.
I just
I'm
want
just
to
gonna
say
lead with that.
Protest
That was
More
the
of
last time I talked to her.
took place outside of Joe Manchin, Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, and his yacht. Now, I did not even know this man had a yacht. The absurdity of it all. A man who's riding around and owns a yacht, keeping America from getting everything that we need, from voting rights to an infrastructure bill.
Protesters who kayaked to the houseboat of West Virginia's Joe Manchin.
People were barely keeping their heads above water before, and if we don't get this aid, our state is going to be in much worse shape than before.
I have other things I should be doing in West Virginia, but I'm here today because I want to testify to the fact that there was someone standing up for people in West Virginia, because from what we hear, Joe Manchin's not listening to us.
Joe Manchin listened to his donors.
They all do.
Yeah.
Even the
I
ones who
just-
pretend to be fighting for you, like a Ro Khanna, he listens to his donors. He knows how to say the pretty words to your face. But Joe Manchin is just playing his role. He's being the heel right now. He's needed in order to distract and make sure that everybody's focused on him instead of the system at large. And he's doing his job, and it's working. It's very effective. Everybody's mad at Joe Manchin instead of being mad at the system in general.
Yeah.
Man, can I just say, Ben Dixon, how do you not know that Joe Manchin has a yacht? Come on. He has a yacht. Come on.
Ben Dixon.
Like the irony, too, of the voters, being in little boats and saying, that people's heads are underwater. And just the irony
He's
there.
on a yacht.
That was funny.
Yeah.
But yes, as Missy said, as we said with Kirsten Cinema, more of this, please. More of this. They should not be able to rest. They are public servants. They're supposed to be serving us. So no, they should not feel free to go out on a yacht. We should be harassing them every morning, noon, and night. They
You
should
should be
not
like taking their beer from them when they get to the dock. You'd be like, "Fuck you! This is mine, bitch."
right? Like you bought this with with money that you got from, like, you served me, therefore that's my yacht, bitch.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
the
Totally
people's
feel
yacht.
All right, relax.
Ready for the next one?
No, Shane, we're not ready.
Boss makes $1, I made a dime. That was a poem from a simpler time. Now the boss makes 1,000 and gives us a cent while he's got employees that can't pay their rent. So when the boss makes $1 million and the worker makes jack, that's when we strike and take our lives back.
We'll take care of you. When you have a two-tier system, it creates a lot of animosity.
It's a way to pay all future employees less and less benefits. New people coming in, they want to pay them $13 an hour less. They don't want them to have a pension. They don't want them to have the full medical benefits.
They think that they can start a two-tier system and sell out the next generation. Are we going to let that happen? That's right.
Kellogg's is the classic story of taking a business that was run as a family and over time starting to put downward pressure on wages as corporate profits are going up. And they just enriched their CEO and then told their workforce that they can't have the health care that they used to have. They're going to institute a two-tier system where the younger next generation workforce isn't going to be treated the same. So these workers are saying no. They're drawing a line in the sand and they're saying enough is enough.
More of that too, please.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Much more of that.
You can't go on the
Please
deep.
and thank you.
Yeah, I think
Rome
if
had
anything,
him on.
My God.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
them on Revolutionary Blackout. I had the union
The
leader
strike
on
song?
there multiple times. I'm going to get him on there again pretty soon, hopefully, so we can try to figure out how we can fight for better wages. Because as far as right now, with the deal that they had took, it isn't enough. It isn't going to last, and so we got to come up with a better striking plan, whatever it is. Now that we got more eyes on it, more independent news coverage on it, I think that we can get this right because, I believe the mass media, they made it more about, just a one hit and done type of thing, but they didn't want to give it too much power because this pandemic, we got a lot of people talking about general striking, revolution, socialism, communism. You don't want to start that. You don't want to open a can of worms that you can't close.
And when we talked to him, one of the things he said is one of the reasons why they were on strike is because they cut the healthcare benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So, I asked him, I was like, is it just mainly like liberals or Republicans? He was like, no, we got everybody. So again,
well, the reason why they don't want to cut the healthcare benefits, and it's another reason why we don't have healthcare in this country, is because it then makes it harder for you to strike, and it then makes it harder for you to fight for your rights. And then, and also you have to look at the military aspect. That's a great way to recruit into the military. The top two reasons why people join the military is that they can't find a job and they need an education. And I mean, that's why we don't have education. That's why we don't have a jobs program. Oh, and healthcare. Those are the top three. So those are that's a huge part of the reason why we don't have those three things: healthcare, jobs, and education. Because
never get
they use that
housing.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah.
I mean, they use all of these things.
We have a
Nico
poor
was in the
draft.
military
It's a
and
poor
he said,
draft. Like that's how they get everybody in.
Yeah, Nico was in the military, and he said earlier on in the stream, he was like, "How are you guys alive?"
Yeah, because he has some good healthcare. I mean, as a veteran, he does have decent healthcare, and he said even their healthcare has been like stripped away systematically, and that's how they do it. We talked about this earlier too. It's not like they don't come full frontal. It's a totalitarian tiptoe. They push you a little bit, and then once you start to complain, they back off just enough. And then once you've gotten complacent, they push back on you again, and they keep pushing you further and further and further. And then the next thing you know, 20 years later, you don't have shit. You have no rights. You have no money. You have no job. You have no house. You have no, you know what I mean? And it's it's like the frog in the pot analogy. You know, that's where we're at right now.
It's called death by 1,000 cuts. That's what it's called.
Yeah, like honestly, if there's anything positive, like there was not a lot positive that came out of this year. But if anything positive did come out of this year, it was the fact that we really saw labor starting to fight back.
Yeah.
And, it's really with all the strikes that we saw this year, like seeing labor start to fight back. Like, that has been probably the brightest light of this entire year. That's the only thing that has given me hope at all this year. That's the only thing that's given me hope. And honestly, I really want to see that continue. I mean, we're still in the middle of this pandemic, y'all. People are still fucking suffering. We're going to see that continue, especially now that
worse.
I mean, exactly. I mean, we were very lucky to see the student debt at least get that pushed back to like what, May? But I want to see
right around taxes,
like that
just
is,
so you know, right around the time people get their taxes back. So then, oh hey,
true.
now you can pay your student loan back with your taxes.
So true.
They're very
so that's
clever.
something that should be a New Year's resolution for everybody. Student debt strike. That is our New Year's resolution. Is a student debt strike. That's what I want to see this year.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that has given me the most hope, and I want to see all these strikes continue, and I want to see labor gain more power. I really want to see a general strike if we can get there. Speaking of.
Workers preparing to draw the picket line over better wages and conditions.
10,000 John Deere workers officially went on strike today. They are part of the growing number nationwide of employees demanding better working conditions and wages.
On strike for the first time in 35 years at Deere.
We're not even asking for more. We're asking for close to what we lost 5 years ago.
The deal that workers rejected at John Deere offered a 5% raise in the first year of the contract. Not what workers expected from a company that estimates it will make $5.9 billion in profits in 2021.
This is really not a case of the company being squeezed and the workers wanting to, get a bigger piece of the pie. There really is a bigger pie here.
But
that's just straight up wage theft, y'all. Period. End of story. You're getting robbed. It doesn't have to be this way. It does not. You deserve better. We all deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve better. Period. These companies are making an ass ton of money. They're walking out like, the CEOs are walking out with these severance packages. I mean, ridiculous. And you deserve better. Period. End of story.
I think we need to stop asking for 15 though. 15 is too low. We need to ask for a thriving wage. We deserve a thriving wage, and we're not asking for enough. And we need to stop asking and start demanding it.
30 an hour. 30 an hour is. 25 would be my floor. Like Nina Turner's like $15 an hour is the floor. No, it's not. No. That's an insult. $15 an hour is an insult.
We gotta ask for more. Like we gotta demand more. We can't just keep doing what we're doing.
Here's what people don't understand.
You don't go to the negotiation table with half of what you want. You go with more than what you want and some. That way, when you fucking get some of that shit cut, you walk away with all of it. But
if you asked for 35, you might have gotten 15.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, we can't accept friggin' scraps anymore. We need to decide that, we're going to ask for, like what Rome was saying, you always ask for like way more than what you want. So you get at least a minimum of what you want.
Well, the problem in this country is we have like this learned helplessness. And we also have been, we've allowed ourselves to be beaten down to the point where we have accepted that this is the best we can do. And it's not. And it's not the best that you deserve. You deserve better. We can have better. All we have to do is come together and fight for it. That's it. And I know that's, it sounds very simple. It is easier said than done. But you absolutely deserve more. They're going to gaslight you and try to convince you that you don't, but you do. And I mean, you're taking like they're flicking the crumbs of crumbs in your general direction. And then people cheer for that. No. You need to be going in there asking for healthcare. Like when people were talking about force the vote, I wouldn't vote for Nancy Pelosi unless she gave me like a laundry list of stuff in advance, and then maybe I'll vote for Nancy Pelosi.
I wouldn't vote for it all.
No. Right.
I wouldn't. I mean, if she gave me a ton of stuff in advance, like I got it in advance, maybe I would consider it. We'll see.
I would take it, and then I would vote against her.
But you know what? Like even the $15 an hour, like that's nothing in my state.
No,
that's nothing in Massachusetts.
That's still a poverty wage.
An hour?
Yeah, we're right below you, Sabby. We're in Connecticut. It's so expensive to live here.
Ohio's cheap as fuck, and it's still not enough in Ohio. And it's cheap as
in
fuck
Florida.
Here.
The cost of living in Florida is going up, especially with all the Disney employees coming in too.
We're like one of the most expensive states because we're right next to New York, and like we're like a drive-through state. You know, people live in Connecticut and they work in New York and Mass and everywhere else, so we get screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go to the next.
Yeah.
Oh, change it. Let's move this fucking thing along.
Stop it. No better.
Stephen Donziger arrived in court to a hero's welcome. But the environmentalists and indigenous groups who gathered to listen to the judge were deeply disappointed by his sentence. 6 months in jail on charges of contempt of court.
No lawyer has ever spent a single day in prison for, okay? No one has ever spent a single day in prison.
In U.S. history.
In U.S. So this man's been locked in his home for 2 years. Sentencing happened last week on October 1st, and they sentenced him to 6 months in prison.
I, along with other lawyers, helped the indigenous peoples in Ecuador win a historic $9.5 billion pollution judgment against Chevron for the deliberate dumping of billions of gallons of cancer-causing waste into the Amazon. That's an historical fact.
Danbury prison officials released me after serve the rest of my sentence, an extra 136 days. Huge step forward in our campaign, but the battle for freedom and to hold Chevron accountable continues. So,
as for Chevron, the company has yet to pay a penny in damages.
Can I just get this out of the, like, you don't do 6 months in prison. You do 6 months in the county. He's gonna be good and he's gonna come back stronger because you can.
He's out now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna be good either way.
Yeah, that's not really the point. The point is that
to what they could have done.
Yeah,
well, what they have real money to get rid of someone like that if they really wanted to. The thing was, he had eyes and ears on him. So when we have people like this, we have to make sure we keep eyes and ears on them. That way they won't just take them out, you know, or use their money, whatever the fuck, you know, I'm just trying to keep it clean. Use their money against us to shut people like him and whoever's going to be next down.
Yes,
So,
well, that's the thing. It's
but
whoever's going to be
that jail
next because
sentence
that
was
sets a
nothing.
precedent,
It
and they're
could've
now
been worse.
using it on water protectors
Yes.
in courts right now. It's the exact same model. Stephen Donziger himself tweeted about it earlier today, or maybe yesterday, or maybe a couple days ago. But they're now using the same model, and it's kind of reminiscent of the way that they're using the Assange model to go after Glenn Greenwald in Brazil. These are precedent-setting events, and so having a lawyer, and this was essentially a corporate persecution. This had nothing to do with the judicial system. This was Chevron having control of the courts, and that's unprecedented, and that's something that we should all be concerned about. That now we have direct confirmation that corporations have completely captured our court system as well. I mean, we all kind of knew that was happening, but this really puts it on like the front line. Like, here you go. We're not even hiding it anymore. Here we are. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
that
they
was
can't
a
seem to,
Chevron.
like-
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
Patty.
they can't seem to go after the people in that black book for Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, they can't seem to go after those people. They won't even release those names. So I want to be very clear to people, because I haven't had a chance to do a show about this yet, but she is basically the fall guy, or the fall woman, excuse me. She's taken the fall for all those people who are in that book whose names they will not release. And I think we have an idea who some of them are. But the fact that she's like being thrown under the bus for it, she's not innocent by any means necessary. But why aren't they going after the people in that book?
They
It's all about
can.
money and power.
Not
The
only are they not
second
going
they
after
do-
them, they're hiding it from the public. They're gonna put a block on everybody seeing who's in that book. And she's only going to face up to 65 years. Julian Assange is facing 175 years in a supermax. And
They can't
she's a
go out-
literal child molester. He's a journalist, and that's, I mean, come on, it's
No,
ridiculous.
they can't go after that, because the second they start go after the rich and powerful, then they have to make a habit of
Everything
doing it.
crumbles. Julian Assange said it would only take like 3% of Washington going down for the whole thing to crumble. And that's, again, with the Ghislaine Maxwell thing, all I can think is we need Assange or somebody like Assange. We need another WikiLeaks, because we would have more information than we do now. No question.
Yeah, honestly, just it makes you sick to think that we live in this type of system, this type of world, that the people in that
Protects
black
pedophiles.
book are not, that they're not being held accountable. But yet a Chevron owned judge prosecuted with a Chevron owned prosecution, because they were the actual prosecution, because the prosecutors wouldn't take the case.
Mm-hmm.
So that he brought in the Chevron-owned lawyers to prosecute the case. Exactly what Missy said. This was a corporation prosecution. Like, this should never have been allowed.
No,
it's really gross how things get like twisted like that. Like the idea that the U.S. is boycotting the Olympics because China bad. Meanwhile, all their fucking coaches are getting fucking pedophile charges and shit left and right. Like, come on.
Thank you.
They did the same thing going after him for imprisoning a journalist. Anthony Blinken's once again like, oh, you like journalism, blah blah. Free Assange or shut the fuck up, okay?
Journalism bad.
So I just sent out a tweet and I said, if only they had the same energy going after Ghislaine Maxwell and her cohorts as they did the whistleblowers. So if only they had that same energy, but they don't. Why? Because, well,
it's them.
It protects them.
They are them. It is them. It's
Let's go to the next one. We're almost.
Someone needs to protect Chris Hedges because he named names
at
that rally.
God damn it! And I love him anyway. He is ballsy, man. Obviously, I mean, you guys know I love journalists, unbelievable journalists. I mean, and then for him to go out there and just like yell out names into a microphone. Yeah, oh, it's so good. Those are my people.
That was fucking positive vibration.
Like I always say, your eyes and ears make you dangerous, man. As long as we listening to them.
Yeah, protect Chris Hedges.
You know, we keep an eye on them.
Put that tweet out there.
Funded, you know, protect it. They will live long. The message will live long enough. Even if they don't survive these monsters, the message will live long enough.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That should definitely be a hashtag. Protect Chris Hedges.
Protect Chris Hedges.
Speaking of.
The jury began deliberations today in the federal sex trafficking and conspiracy trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend of the late disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Maxwell faces 6 charges that allege she facilitated Epstein's abuse and trafficking of underage teens.
Closing arguments also expected today in the case of Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the British socialite accused of recruiting and grooming girls for convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The defense rested its 2-day case on Friday.
The verdict has been reached in the trial of Jeffrey Epstein's former confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. Longtime Epstein associate is guilty of all but one charge she faced.
And Ghislaine Maxwell, the late Jeffrey Epstein's associate, girlfriend, and friend, has been found guilty on 5 of the 6 federal charges against her in a court of law. There were 6 counts against Ghislaine Maxwell. In counts 1, conspiracy to entice individuals under the age of 17 to travel to engage in a sexual activity. Guilty on counts 3, 4, 5, and 6, just not on count 2. The big count is count 5, and that is conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of individuals under the age of 18. That charge alone can be up to 40 years in prison.
Wow.
And you guys are right. Not a single person who ever actually committed the rape, imprisonment, and torture of children will ever see the inside of a courtroom. And the same thing, the connections between Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence, none of that stuff will ever be discussed. She was the fall guy. The trial was ended very quickly. We didn't get to hear all of the testimony. They're going to bar everybody from seeing the black book. She's going to get a slight punishment, a slap on the wrist at some cozy little federal prison, and then everybody will forget about it, and there will be no
is she actually there? Where are the pictures?
We don't know. We don't know.
She's just a British socialite. Don't worry about her.
Like, where are the pictures of her?
Right.
Because, like, her family has all these ties to, like, Mossad and shit. So, where
She could
are
be on
these
some
pictures of
island
her in the
somewhere.
courtroom or anything?
She could be on some island somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think she's even there.
She was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
No,
probably got
there's
so
so
much
much.
shit in them
Highly
judges.
recommend Whitney Webb. Please go check out Whitney Webb. Read all of her stuff on Epstein and Maxwell.
Yeah, she's got unlimited
and-
hangout, right? On Rockfin?
Yes, on Rockfin. I think she has a blog too. But yeah, Whitney Webb is seriously one of the best sourced journalists on this.
Substack.
Yeah, she's amazing, and it's a lot. It's a lot of information because there's a lot of connections to multiple different people in huge places of power. But yeah, it's a lot.
You know, does anyone want to guess what story number 1 is? This could be fun. Does anyone want to take a guess?
I know what this one is. I'll be quiet.
January 6th.
I hope it's not January. If it's January 6th, I'm logging the fuck out. I'm logging the fuck out.
Tragically.
Let's go, Brandon.
The second impeachment. Let's go, Brandon.
I hope it's Assange related, honestly.
There you go.
Oh, you got it.
Although this isn't the biggest Assange story of the year, if we're being honest. It's a big one, but
My name is Julian Assange. I'm the editor of WikiLeaks. We help
this is going to fire me up. You guys know that, right?
Get this material, give it to us, questions asked, and you'll help change it.
They're threatening to prosecute Assange and lock him away possibly for decades. That's a blow to the very foundations of freedom of the press.
2 of the men killed worked for the Reuters news agency.
Journalists' cameras were mistaken for weapons.
This is a very dark day, as you point out, for press freedom. And then really, the U.S. and Britain are acting like tin pot dictators, throwing any press critic into a dungeon. What is left of a democracy that's on life support anyway, if Assange is actually extradited to the United States?
I think his life is genuinely in danger.
He's dying.
That would be a yes. His life is genuinely in danger.
They're killing it. This is a murder in slow motion. There's absolutely no, and he's on remand. He's being held in a supermax prison on remand, which means he's being held just because the U.S. says so. He's committed no crimes. Their case has fallen apart over the past 6 months. I told you this is going to get me fired up, so shut me up if I ramble. But their entire case has fallen apart over the past 6 months. Their key witness admitted to fabricating his testimony. He's a convicted child molester. He's a career criminal. He was convicted of embezzling money from WikiLeaks. The CIA was caught plotting to murder or kidnap him. UC Global was spying on him on the Ecuadorian embassy, including conversations with his legal team. As he's been held in Belmarsh, there was a 6-month time period he wasn't even able to meet with his attorneys. They gave him a laptop with the keys glued down. The number of human rights abuses in this case is ridiculous, and any one of them should have had this case thrown out and lit on fire months ago, years ago. Really, this should have never been a case. He should have never been arrested in the first place. He's a journalist. He did journalism. That's not illegal. This is insanity. And I for the life of me, I cannot figure out the words to get people to understand why this is important. It's important to fucking everybody on planet Earth, period. And it's not just about Julian Assange. Don't come at me with your cultist bullshit. I'm sick of it. It's not about Julian Assange. It's not about the cult of Julian Assange. It's about fucking journalism. It's about having the right to know things and to hold powerful people accountable. The people in power want to have all of their secrets held secret. And if we lose the ability to expose them, you lose everything. You're never going to get it back. They're going to take everything from you. They're already doing that. They've been doing that for decades on every front. It's not just press freedom. It's the right to protest. It's the right to free speech. It's the right to, it's everything. And the Julian Assange case is a turning point in history. We're going to go one of two ways after this. And one is, it's literal fascism. This is literal fascism. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but that is literal fascism. What is happening to him is fascist. And there's a lot of anti-fascists out there who refuse to get involved in this, who refuse to speak out about it. Frankly, I'm fucking sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. Anti-imperialist. If you're anti-imperialist and you're not speaking out for Julian Assange, dude has done more to expose empire than anybody on planet Earth. It's not even close.
You just said the same thing. Like the Donziger is a perfect example of the corporation running the fucking system. That is fascism.
Yes.
Personified.
Yeah. No, and if you're in the CIA, Julian Assange released the largest CIA leak in history, exposing them in embarrassing the hell out of them. That's why you got arrested, because he embarrassed Mike Pompeo. That's what pushed it over the edge. But if you're against the CIA, if you're against the intelligence agencies, if you're against the surveillance state, you should be supporting Julian Assange. This really isn't that complicated. I know that there's been a decade-long propaganda campaign against this one man, where they have completely denigrated him and turned him into some comic book villain so that they can manufacture consent for the treatment he's receiving right now. But get over yourself. Look past it and realize how important this is. Sorry, I told you I was going to get fired up.
Yeah, you got to read the books they want to burn, right? You got to read the books they want to burn, and that's what we got to think about right here.
But Misty, the guy that just debated Nico said, "You don't trust the CIA."
We're all spooked, Sabby.
Why should you trust the CIA?
That wasn't a parody.
Wait, I'm sorry. The CIA, which has secretly overthrown like how many countries?
Not even secretly, Meg. Not
Right?
even secretly. They just do that shit out in the open now.
Secretly.
I mean, come on.
Secretly.
Did Rome fall out of his chair?
Maybe.
All of a sudden, I just see like the top of Rome's head, just nothing else.
That shit be killing me. I'll be like, who the fuck is this nigga?
But seriously,
But
I
it's so
am
true
over
though.
it.
Like, you want to trust the CIA?
Like, how the hell do they? How the hell they get all these? Like, they gotta be ops. Ain't no way. Like,
I know. And then there's he's just one white dude. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. That completely erases the numerous black and brown people that he has helped give a voice to, 15,000 dead Iraqi civilians, who even knows how many cases of rape, murder, torture, children who have been murdered in poor brown countries around the globe. Just because he's one white guy, that doesn't negate all of those people. And torture victims, Khalid al-Masri. I mean, come on, y'all. That's reductionist bullshit. And that's exactly what whatever you want to call them, the deep state, the permanent state, the elite, whoever you want to call them, that's exactly what they want you to do. That's exactly what the propaganda campaign against Julian Assange has been made to do. And you're falling for it. You are a useful fucking idiot. It's exactly what they want you to think. They spend a lot of time, money, energy, and resources doing exactly that.
Reductionism is the rule, you know, like that's how they do you.
Missy, let me ask you this. Couldn't it have been that he used his white privilege to get as far as he did?
Absolutely.
Uncover these things?
Yes, he didn't have to do this. He put himself at great personal. Y'all, he's being tortured to death. This is if you're gonna be an ally or whatever, that's the kind of fucking ally I want to be. I want to be the one who uses my privilege to put my neck on the line to expose things that are happening to people. Are you joking? Like, to me, yeah, okay, he's not a communist. That's another thing that drives me nuts. People who are like, oh, he doesn't follow my particular ism, so fuck him. Really? An innocent man is being tortured to death by empire, and you're just like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I mean, it's gross. It's gross. I want nothing to do with that. If that's your mentality, you're broken. I
mean, look at what he exposed. Come on. We wouldn't know about this shit.
Nobody has done more to expose empire, to expose capitalism, to expose corruption, to expose all kinds of shit, environmental corruption, corporate corruption. I mean, you guys, he has broken more stories than all other journalists combined. That's not hyperbolic. That's legit. And he's never.
And how many has he had to retract?
Never gotten it.
Misty, what's his retraction rate?
Not one word. Not one fucking word has ever had to be redacted.
So I want to